One of the songs that you'll be performing at the benefit is called Another Battle. Initially, we're running to avoid the cost. Is that right? To avoid the cost?
Mm-hmm.
We're running to avoid the cost of another battle. But eventually the lyrics are, you and I have another battle.
You know, it's never over. Like, it's never going to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
There's always going to be some sort of grieving. You know, for me, living in a chair, living with a spinal cord injury, there's this weird, like, kind of paradox of, like, accepting it and not accepting it. Living the way you are, but wanting to be more than that, I guess. There's gonna be shit that happens in your life,
mm-hmm.
and it's gonna keep coming, so you just gotta keep moving.
And these battles can become the catalysts that enable the self-knowledge, which in turn enables the undoing.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I think so.
Yeah. So there's a song called Periphery.
Yeah.
As though it's called Periphery, the focus in this song is on a layer beyond the periphery. So what is the significance of this image of a layer that's beyond the periphery?
Sometimes I wake up at night, and it's not like a sleep paralysis, but it's like I feel like further inside my body. And kind of thinking of that mostly physically. I wasn't necessarily thinking emotionally, but like this weird feeling of being outside your body, but like further inside your body. It's a pretty weird feeling. And it's not sleep paralysis, because I check and see if I can still like move my body a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, it's fine. But I just like, it's a weird feeling of like being further inside my body. I think it just comes from living with paralysis, and you know, I can't really feel or move kind of below my armpits. I kind of think of it as like being in a suitcase or something. It's kind of a weird image. But then I kind of took that into like, you know, dealing with emotions and kind of dealing with depression. That's kind of what depression feels like sometimes, is like you're there, but like you feel like further inside your head, like you know, down a layer or something, or 2 layers. I don't know.
So we find ourselves in this layer beyond the periphery. Why does the song draw attention to that particular condition?
The song itself is pretty, like the music, I think that could be where it started, because it is very like, it's pretty dark, it's kind of sad, and I think that kind of drew me to talking about that, or speaking about that.
Yeah. And I guess, again, Jack writes this music in all cases.
Yes.
Yep.
Most of them, yeah.
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 Can you recall the discovery of what the lyrics and melody needed to be in any of these cases?
Man. Periphery, we wrote that song 2-3 years ago, maybe.
Was it, so it was to have been a Treading North song?
It was maybe gonna be a Treading North song, but it also didn't really feel like a Treading North song. And we were sitting in that living room again. It was me, him, and our old bandmate Elena, and we were just like, let's just write a song. And we each kind of wrote some of the lines together. Like, we'd go in a circle, I'd write a line, and then Elena would write a line, and then Jack would write a line. And
yeah.
We kind of did that around the circle, and we ended up with some weird stuff. But some of that is still part of the song. And then I ended up taking it later and changing some of the lyrics to make it like make a little more sense.
That's interesting that the communal, collaborative genesis of the song, given what we've been reflecting about regarding the importance of community in the process of rallying and/or undoing.
Yeah,
that's really interesting. Is that the one song where there was such a community focus aspect?
We have another song. It's called Pneumatic, and I think we might play that at the show. I haven't changed the lyrics yet for that song, and I've gone back and forth of like whether I should change it or not, because it's still like, it's also kind of like weird and doesn't really make sense, but it also feels pretty good. So I might keep the lyrics.
And it bears the mark of so many interconnected humans that are facilitating one another's growth.
And that's like the main reason I don't want to change it, is because like the history of the song, there's a lot of history there. So yeah,
I think it should stay the same.
Yeah. Well, I might just take your word on that.
One more act of zooming in on some lyrics.
Yeah.
So the song "Escape the Massacre" ends, "Stop fighting fires, find the one who's holding the match." That almost seems to be the key, according to the song, of how to escape the massacre. Is that the case?
Yeah.
And what does that mean?
That's actually another battle.
Oh, that's another battle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But strangely, that is the way to escape the massacre.
It is, yeah. That can be looked at through a couple different lenses, one being, within yourself. I guess you could think of it like with some kind of sickness or disease or physical disability, like, you have like a swollen foot. That's a fire down there. But like, where's the match? Like, what's causing that?
What's the real cause?
What's the real cause for that? People with spinal cord injuries, there's a lot of that. Like, we deal with sores, we deal with respiratory issues, we deal with blood clots. There's tons of stuff that people don't see. There are all these fires, but like the real issue is that, we have a lesion on our spinal cord, like, and that our connections from our brain to our body isn't working. So like we get all these health issues, and the best way to make all those fires go away is to find some kind of curative therapy, some kind of cure, I guess, that like can bring some of the body back. It would be enormously helpful for me if I got some abdominal strength, some diaphragm strength back to cough.
Yeah, right.
Because I am under threat of pneumonia very often.
Yeah.
Bladder, bowel, like there's so much that could, so many of those fires could go away if there was some kind of, it doesn't have to be like me getting up and walking again, but like some kind of cure to that.
The search for a cause and the search for a cure are, of course, very interrelated. And in Lauren's case at the moment, as we attempt to diagnose, or as specialists attempt to diagnose precisely what the condition is, as we said, despite the new diagnosis of fibromyalgia, there's still signs that something else is going on. So again, there is this search for the match. That's the context within which we need to help her. It's difficult when the issue of incurability is at play, because both fibromyalgia and scleroderma are incurable conditions.
And at the moment, spinal cord injury is as well.
Absolutely, yes. But there is the emphasis on at the moment. So just as there is hope that we can undo some systematic oppression that seems to be undoable, there is also hope that we can find the matches that explain the cause that lead to the cures of conditions that seem to be incurable. And that seems to be what Undoers is all about.
Finding those matches.
Finding the matches.
So you're going to start
acting appropriately when one discovers the matches.
Yes.